So
Can't imagine why anybody would ever want to watch this, but just in case somebody needs to come back and or see what we discussed. So just first of all, as we begin, take a quick look at the agenda. I printed some and put it on the conference room table for the rest of you. It was in the invite. And basically, I put down 10 items. We can run through most of these pretty quickly, but take a moment to look at it, and then I would like to entertain a motion to accept or amend the agenda.
Where's the agenda and the invite?
Yes, ma'am. Probably the most recent one that was sent. It was in there as an attachment. Audrey, I'm going to mute your microphone just because we're getting a lot of static from it. And if you can't find it in the invite, guys, I can put it up on the screen and let you take a quick look at it.
That'd be great.
Okay, let me find it here. Okay, you should be able to see our agenda. Somebody let me know if you can.
I got it.
Okay, great. So Dr. Heindel has requested that all meetings begin with a review of some part of our mission, vision, values, accountability, things like that. So I put that in there for myself. I'll give a brief statement on that or in just a moment and share something off the website. I think we need to talk about our COVID-19 plan for the holidays and getting ready to go into January. Academic faculty plan, what they're going to do, and anything we need to talk about with that. CTE faculty, and that's why Audrey and Heidi and Sarah, we've got you on here representing your areas. Laura, I asked that you maybe just talk us through what we need to think about for the library. Wynn Job Center, Chris Maples is here representing them, so we can make sure we're all on the same page with that. Sherry bookstore hours, campus police services, custodial issues were also on here at one time. I must have overwritten them, but that'll go with police, and then any other issues like that. So any changes? In fact, I want to go ahead and add under campus police, let's do in custodial.
You've got them up under COVID for.
Oh, do I? Okay, I sure do. I sure
Planning
do. Thank you.
disinfecting.
See there, it's so good to have somebody on the team who can read. Okay. So at this time, I would like to entertain a motion to accept, if anyone would like to.
I'll move to accept this agenda.
Okay. And do we have a second?
No. Is there anything scrolled down past that?
There's not.
Okay.
I just didn't hit the return button.
Okay, I just couldn't see it.
There we go.
I second.
Okay, and who was that?
Amanda.
Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. All right, all in favor of accepting the agenda and moving forward, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed? And if so, all right, then the ayes have it. So we will move forward. So now I'm going to stop sharing that and share just something briefly off of our website. Here we go. Can you see our mission, vision, and values statement from the website now?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes? Okay. So one of the things Dr. Heindel, with his leadership style, you know, you've been with him longer than all of you. He's very progressive in his business thinking and his team leading thinking. And part of that is Simon Sinek, who's one of my favorite motivational speakers and authors, wrote a book a few years ago called Begin with Why. And it's really a model for leadership. And it's basically, you've got a team full of people. Some of them are more engaged than others. Some of them are more highly trained than others, whatever. But you've got a team of all kinds of folks. You go in and start giving orders to people. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. That's probably the lowest form of leadership, if you can even call it leadership. Part of what all of the leadership literature has said for years is give people a reason. Don't, because I'm the boss is the worst reason ever. So begin with why. Why do we do what we do? And so when the new Achieving Success strategic plan for 2019 to 2023 was being put together, Dr. Heindel started with that. What is our vision? And so our vision, why we do what we do, is, if you see it there, I highlighted it. Northwest Mississippi Community College transforms student lives, enriches our communities, and strives for excellence in our educational programs and services. Now, that's very broad. Those are just words on paper. Then we come down and we talk about the mission and the values, and then it breaks down into specific measurables sometime after that. But what I wanted to share in this meeting in particular is just that little vision statement. We transform, we enrich, and we strive. Those are the three things that we do as an institution. If we ever forget that our whole purpose is to take care of students, we're done. The secondary purpose is to enrich our communities, because they're the ones paying our salaries. And then we strive for excellence. If we ever stop doing that, we are also done, because there's a whole lot happening in higher education right now, and we can either be moving forward or we're going to get left behind. So I just wanted to share that from the mission, vision, and values. I would recommend, as you have a chance, as you walk down the hall by the library, look at the new artwork we have down there that talks about this, and maybe even consider memorizing that little vision, because when we get off track, whenever I've got some bonehead idea that doesn't fit that, you can always throw it back into the conversation and say, hey, that doesn't fit with transforming student lives. That's a little bit self-serving. And bureaucracies and institutions have a tendency to become self-serving if we're not careful. So thank you for your consideration on that. All right, let's talk COVID-19. Right now, faculty and staff are checking in daily with the app, and if somebody fails to check in, what happens, Larry?
Karen Bell, or even worse, we get one straight from Human Resources, a list of people who didn't check in.
That's right. We get nasty-grammed. And then Larry and I, mostly Larry's been doing it, spends how many hours a day tracking people down saying, are you coming to campus? Have you been on campus? Are you sick?
It's gotten better, though.
It
The
has.
list is usually only 1 or 2 people. It used to be a dozen. So.
Yes. Yes. It was at one time a very long list, and we weren't getting it for a while. The first few months we weren't getting it. That's why we had the thin blue line at the front door, just checking everybody as best they could. And even then, Mike, you can attest to this, half of them would and half of them wouldn't. And even 1 or 2 might even have lied from time to time because they just didn't want to monkey around with that app on their phone. But I think we've gotten much better with it. We will continue to do this as long as the campus is open. Everyone will check in every day. And if that changes, we'll send out an email and let everyone know, because I know some of you are not going to be here after this Friday, or at least some of our faculty aren't going to. So I think at that point, Larry, they're planning to suspend the academic faculty side of it. I don't know about the career tech faculty. So as soon as I find out, I'll let you know. Did Darlene ever have a chance?
The scofflaws.
I'm sorry?
I said they're the scofflaws too. We gotta ride those people.
Right, that's right.
Career tech people.
I don't see Darlene on here, so we'll move forward with students. I don't know how many cases we have right now. Larry, how many COVID cases did you report in that meeting a couple of Fridays ago?
I wanted to say 27 people were out. I think only like 5 or 6 were active COVID cases at the time, but we had all those people out for, contact for quarantine. Right.
We got word late Friday from the LPN division that we had 1 student whose roommate had tested positive. And so we had 1 instructor and 5 or 6 students that were affected by that, and they're in quarantine. Is that correct, Audrey? I'm going to unmute you. Okay, you've got me blocked out, sort of like on social media. I hate it when that happens.
It's 2 instructors
Okay.
that are quarantining.
Great.
April Martin and Desiree Tidwell.
Great. Either one of them have any symptoms that you know of?
No. Mm-mm.
Good.
I
As far
can't
as
imagine trying to.
go ahead,
I
Larry.
was thinking about April Martin trying to imagine April Martin being contained anywhere.
Yeah, I have a feeling it involves a straitjacket, a muzzle, and a taser.
Yeah.
She and I texted back and forth yesterday. She seemed to be okay. She was certainly high energy, that's for sure.
Yes.
So, very good. So let me see. We've got Lee in there, custodial staff.
Hey,
Hey, brother. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Okay. During the time the academic faculty are leaving Friday, we may want to postpone what you have to say until the end of this so I can hear from Heidi and Sarah and Audrey when they plan to have students here. So you can sort of tell me, Lee, what you think we need to do with the custodial, what days, what times, when do we want to do fogging and all of that. So can I push you down on the agenda just a little bit?
No problem.
All right. So let's talk about academic faculty. Their last day is this Friday. They're going to return in January. Some have said that they are going to help us with the drive-through graduation, which I think is a very, very, very good idea for folks to take part in. Our drive-through graduation, the theme is Winter Wonderland, as I think most of you have read. And we've had several people enthusiastically embrace this. I know I've got at least one Grinch, at least one abominable snowman coming, and probably a lot of others. So we do have a few folks who are doing the costume character things. Vanessa picked us up a helium tank today so that we can have balloons at our little tent. And it's going to be drive-through, and all the tents are going to be side by side. They're not going to be quite as spread out as they were last time. So that as the students come by, you don't have Oxford Center and everyone can wave and all of that. So, but other than that, faculty will have access to the campus as needed. But Officer Mike, they will need to let you know, and me and Sandra and Larry and Darlene, whomever, we need to know that they're coming. They will have to check in with the Appian app just like they do now. And then they can go to their office or use a classroom or do what they have to do. And for those who haven't been in on the emails, the academic faculty aren't just getting 2 months off where they can sit at home and watch Netflix and all of that. They do have a list of responsibilities. They'll be turning in a worksheet every week, not a timesheet like we did previously, but they have to reach out to academic advisees. Amanda, they're supposed to be helping us do some recruiting and retention work. They are supposed to be going through and other duties as assigned. So if we have some outreach we need help with, the academic faculty are supposed to be standing by to help with that. Yes, Heidi.
I got something similar for that for CTE as well.
Okay. Because you guys are here for until you guys come back when?
Are you talking about cosmetology?
Yeah, well, that's part of what I want to talk about, Cosmo and just the CTE in general.
Mm-hmm. So do you want to talk about that now, or do you want to keep going where you were?
I'll come back to it.
Okay.
We'll come back to it. But I was just saying, if you got a list like that as well, when are they expecting you to start doing all that? Because you're still doing clocked hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I am.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. So
We just never quit.
you just, yeah. No matter how much we want y'all to. Any comments on academic faculty? Any questions? Anything I need to get clarified before we move into the career tech side? No? Okay, then let's talk career tech now, Heidi. You've got some special needs with your students, right? Making up hours, things like that?
Yes, and I have a Word document I'll send you that has it all spelled out. But we have the state board has extended our ability to be off campus and online through March the 4th of 2021. And so I have kind of a plan of what I'm going to do between now and then. Cosmetology's tentatively, or I don't know if tentatively is a good word, to start back on the 11th, but we can do hybrid and online and classes as well.
So you are allowed to do hybrid, like via videos. I'm sorry, guys. Somebody's just blowing up my phone. You guys can do hybrid, and
We do online just like we've been doing.
okay.
I just don't do it quite as formally as they do in Senatobia. They have their students definite blocks. I only use it when we need to.
Okay.
I like to be here.
Right. And your students seem to prefer to be here. They actually show up and do something if you make them come to campus.
And work is easier at work.
Heidi, do you still have any super seniors floating around, or did they finish?
Well, that started in spring of 2019. I'm sorry, 2020. And so in spring of 2020, I had two sets of students. I had freshmen and seniors. And so my freshmen will still be there. And then those super seniors who missed an awful lot. So they'll still be floating around.
And so after November 20th, of course, we're out for a week, and then we come back, what, on the 30th, I guess it is, Monday the 30th?
Yes.
Do you plan to have any students on campus between Thanksgiving and Christmas, Heidi?
I do, and I have it all written on a Word document to send you to look at.
Okay, that's what you were saying earlier. We'll send Doc. Copy Sandra and Mike and Larry on that, if you would, and I guess Laura.
Sure.
Great. All right, what about you, Audrey Camp? What are you folks gonna do?
Well, we do have some dates between Thanksgiving and Christmas if we can come back to campus for a few days. Our students have their ATI Live, which is their NCLEX review, and it's super, super important, and we would really like for them to be on campus to do this so that they're not distracted by children and other things at home. And that is on December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I do not know the times yet, and it would be for about 4 hours a day, approximately, on those days. And then if for some reason we can't come back to campus for those days, we were going to see if our students could pick up their graduation regalia on December 7th, because the date for pickup is when they will be in that ATI Live, the NCLEX review.
Sherry, does December 7th work as an alternative pickup day for you?
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, Audrey, we'll make that the alternative.
Can you get a time from them, or are they going to provide?
Yes. I will give you a time, and it will be just like an hour window, not an all day thing. And I'll come up also, or Mrs. Johnson will. But that's just what we were planning on, but I will definitely give you a time for that.
Well, Miss Johnson wants to pick them up herself and give them out herself.
Yeah, she said something like that, have us pick up the gowns and then them get them from us. So I don't know what exactly, but we just want to be able to get our students their gowns before graduation.
They're also giving them t-shirts if you want them to come by and just pick up one. They can do that now.
Now,
Okay.
let them get it all at the same time, Sherry.
All right.
Yeah, that's making it too hard. So whoever gives them the cap and gown can toss them a t-shirt.
Okay, cool.
Yep. No need making work for yourself. Okay, Audrey, what we'll do is we'll just block out those whole days that you guys want to be on campus. So don't worry about the times. Just as you know what the times are going to be, communicate that to me, to Sandra, to Larry, Laura, Mike.
Okay.
Just so we're not looking for them at 7 o'clock in the morning and they're not coming in until 1.
Right. I will let y'all know. Now, if we come those 3 days, we won't need the alternative gown pickup day.
That's right.
From what I understand.
That's correct. And just make sure your students know, and same for yours, Heidi, that if they come to this campus, they have to check in on the Appian app. That protocol still stands, or Officer Mike's going to tase them and drag them out the front door. Sarah, what about the Surge Tech folks?
We are done. Right now, we're still talking about coming back earlier in January, like we had talked, but from now until January, we won't have any students on campus.
And so either you or Miss Kathy will get with us if
Yeah.
you're going to come in January before everybody else does, and we'll make sure everybody's cleared to do what you've got to do. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then SHOF isn't on here. We're very concerned about the healthcare assistant program folks because they're done. They're not on campus this week, but they have some kind of certification coming up in a few weeks. That's an awful long gap between your last practice day and your day you have to go in and do it flawlessly. So Mike, Sandra, they may be bringing the HCA students in small groups sometime through the holidays, but they are also going to let us know and follow the COVID protocols.
Got it.
So, okay, Kuchta isn't in here. Larry, any idea what Kuchta's planning to do?
I think he's got class tomorrow night, and if I'm not mistaken, Wednesday night before Thanksgiving.
Really?
He told me it's gonna be the night after Thanksgiving. One night after, it'd be December the 2nd or December the 3rd.
Oh, okay. Okay. Not the Wednesday after Thanksgiving.
Right, yes, sir. It's either the Wednesday or the Thursday, but he's supposed to shoot us an email to let us know what night after Thanksgiving.
Okay. I thought they were back to back.
Okay.
That's better.
So that's going to be the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, it sounds like. Mike, any problem with that?
Sir?
Any problem with accommodating them for those dates?
No, sir, they're covered.
Okay. Right. All right. And I think that covers all of that. I don't think the business office technology. Sandra, you had to hold off that Mongol horde this morning. Do you know if they're planning to be here any after next week with students?
Who is that?
That would be Debbie Luttrell and her crew.
No, I think they're through this week.
I think they are too.
Once those kids take those certification tests, they're done.
Yeah, I think that was why the uproar. They're trying to get the guys finished and done for the semester.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
All right. Anything else under academic faculty or career tech faculty? Any questions, comments, observations? Yes, Heidi.
You know, I'll be coming up here over the entire holiday, but I was wondering, the building usually is open with the Wynn Job Center throughout the holidays. Are there specific days that you know of that they'll be gone? Because I don't mind coming when nobody's here, but I do like it to come when somebody's here.
Okay, well then, Laura McCain, with your permission, we'll skip you right now and let Chris Maples address that. Is that okay?
Sure.
All right, Chris Maples, are you sober enough to talk to us?
Yeah. We actually got last second news yesterday evening, and thankfully, unlike last year, no special accommodations needed. When the school's out, we're out. We're gonna transition to working from home, and the Wynn Center staff will go to other Wynn Centers so that they can carry on with their work.
So that includes Kathy and Elise and everybody?
Far as I know, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, good.
So
Sure.
when is that day then?
But that's the same as our schedule, Heidi. They'll be off when we're off.
Which is December 15th?
Yep, December 15th at noon
Noon.
until January 4th. And of course, all next week. So Heidi, we've implemented a new policy. If you come in while the campus is closed, we're charging you rent. All right. All right. Thank you, Chris. Anything else we need to know, brother? Anything going on that you need to educate the rest of us on?
No, sir. That's all that I've been told.
All right, man.
And
Appreciate
it's
it.
good news.
It is. That is very welcome news. On behalf of Police Squad, thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. Laura McCain, talk to us about the library.
Okay, so I have a quick question.
Of course you do.
Listening to what all's been said ahead of me. So is the campus just going to be open after Thanksgiving until December? Are students able to come and go in the library? Do they need to make appointments? Do I need to let the front know they're coming?
I would prefer that you have them make appointments with you so you don't just have a mass horde coming in. That's why I wanted to call this meeting for you to tell us what you need.
Okay.
We still have online students, and then we have this brand new winter term coming up where we've got 2 labs on campus, I think, Larry, right? A&P labs or something. But then, overall throughout the system, we've got about 300 students right now signed up for our first ever 4-week winter term. And I'm thinking some of them may want to come up here and use technology.
Okay. Well, our plan was just what we're doing this week. We will be open from 8 to 3:30, closed for lunch. And Fridays, I close the lab at noon. And then Lee and I get in here after lunch on Fridays, and he vacuums and he fogs. And thank you, Lee. He fogs every day at 12 faithfully. And I think that's great. It's helped us on our end for trying to keep things clean and safe. But I have not told students you can't just come and go. I didn't realize. I mean, we could do a campus canvas announcement or something, but we're just going to have people that walk in and need to use stuff. Is that okay? I mean, as long as they do their app and they're students and they have their ID, which is all of our stuff, our rules.
If it's okay with you, it's okay with me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay. I was just hearing what you were saying about needing to know what dates students were going to be in here, so that raised a question.
And that was just for blocks. That's because you know how those nurses are. They like to bring you 65 people 5 minutes before the class for you to set up with hotspots and laptops. And so I'm trying to avoid those kinds of things. But if onesies and twosies need to come in because their baby sister poured their sippy cup on their laptop at home and they need to come in, I don't want to bar them unless there is a compelling reason to.
Okay, well, so we'll be here 8 to 3:30.
Okay.
Closed to spray it, to fog at lunch, and Fridays the lab closes at noon. And I'm here anyway on Friday afternoon. So if there's a student who comes in and leaves vacuuming or whatever, I just give them a laptop and put them in the classroom next door. I mean, we accommodate people.
Exactly.
So basically the same hours at Senatobia and DeSoto will be running until the 15th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sherry, talk to us about bookstore hours starting next week or the week after next.
Regular hours, 8 to 4:30.
Okay.
And Friday we close at 4.
Okay.
But I guess this Friday we close at noon.
Okay. Sherry, thank you again for helping with the phones like you do with this new thing we're trying to do where we're branching people out, moving them around. I really do appreciate you helping with that. By the way, how's your son?
Cool. He's good. He's mean.
Okay. But physically from that injury, he's okay?
Yeah, he's okay. He went to work the next day and they said it wasn't no problem, but it was a little slow, but he's okay now.
Yeah. Well, he's young.
Yeah.
You know, Larry and I would still be in traction. That's the benefit of being young. All right, campus police. Talk to us, brother.
Everything's going good as long as if you send somebody up here that does not have the app, we have a form that we fill out. We're taking their temperature, we're putting their student number on it, making copies of it, and giving it to Mr. Arlene. So we can have a record of them being on campus for that. So if you send somebody, they don't have the app, just let us know.
Okay.
And we'll fill that form out. Other than that, after next week, we won't unlock those doors. And back over here, they'll be locked. So the only way they'll come in is through us.
Very good. Mike, one of the things we're talking about as well is when we start classes again in January is maybe having the regular check-in station up there where you guys are, but having a secondary station up here by the front office.
Okay.
Maybe putting Ben up here or something in the morning hours. We had a few students sneaking in this ramp door down by the admin offices this year. I think you or someone caught him. I can't remember who caught the guy, but
Yes.
just,
Me.
It's been shared.
yeah. So, you know, something like that, we may break you guys up if that works out. So we'll talk about that sometime over the holiday.
Yes, sir. That sounds great.
Okay.
All
right.
right. We've had no other major issues on with campus, please.
Do what, Mike?
I said we've had no other major issues than that.
Working on budget stuff too. I'm going to put a memo out when I have a chance. Anything you guys, this goes for everyone on the call, you can think of that we need to put in the budget for next year. We're starting to have those conversations now. There may still be a little COVID money lying around, CARES Act money. I doubt it, because part of our urgency was all of that money has to be spent, the equipment in place and in use for educational purposes before the holiday break at Christmas. But if you can think of something we might be able to grab quickly and install quickly and start using quickly for academic purposes, let me know, shoot me an email. I can send a note to Jeff Horton and see if there's any money lying around. But next year, one of the things we're probably going to do is have to start putting entrance gates at this north entrance and back at the other one that'll be locked on Friday nights and then opened again on Sunday mornings. You know, hate to have to do that because it's another step, but we've been open access for the community and that's what we want to be, but there've been some safety issues and kids skateboarding off the roof and playing paintball out here and breaking windows. So that'll probably be, every other campus locks down. We're probably going to lock down too. Yes, Heidi.
I need a key.
Yes. And you'll have to get out in the rain now. That's, you know, I'm thinking in terms of, you decide you want to come in a couple of hours early in the morning and it's raining, you got to get out of the car and unlock the gate and open it, all that. Maybe we can con them into getting us electric gates, and we could just push a push button or something, or have an app on the phone.
That'd make me feel special.
So yeah, so more definitely that, definitely. So, but that's long term. All right, any other issues, any other opportunities, weaknesses, conversations? Yes, Heidi.
I have some, but mine are so specific. I don't want to have to keep anybody. So if I'll just wait till the end.
Okay, very good. Audrey, anything we need to know? No? Sarah? No?
We're good.
Evening school?
Just keep Kathy in your prayers.
What, Sarah?
So just keep Miss Kathy in your prayers.
Yeah. If you don't know, Miss Kathy's mother fell and broke her back. And they've sent her home from the hospital. They've said there's basically nothing they can do to let her go home and be comfortable. And so Miss Kathy, in addition to winding down the semester, has been dealing with all of that.
I may have a couple of students needing to do makeup tests. People got incompletes, but it doesn't look like it's going to be any issue. You know, they got the app, they can come in.
Very good. All right, last item I have on the agenda. Do we want to try to do a holiday meal here Friday? Some kind of potluck, bring your own, treat everybody, or are we increasing the possible exposure to COVID for everybody by doing that? Go ahead, Sandra.
Well, after you and I discussed that the other day, I did ask a handful of people, 4 or 5, and no one was in favor of it, the ones I asked. Okay. And a lot of it for that reason, just that there's just not really a location on campus where we could, without just really being around each other for too long a time. Wasn't that they didn't want to do it, it's just that they were afraid to. Several of them said, I don't even go to restaurants, you know, right. So, yeah.
And even if you dropped off a plate of cookies, everybody help yourself, unless they're individually wrapped. Do you want to, you know, or if you have a set of the, you know, tongs. Yeah, you know, so fine, I pick up the tongs and grab a cookie. You pick up the same tongs, now you could be infected. So it's
well, and that's not the pat answer for everybody, but the few that I specifically asked would not be here. Yeah.
Right.
I think a lot of people would love to do it. But like a lot of us, it's just we have so much to do that before we've always had some extra time that we could kind of mingle a lot. Now it's like I got to get grab and go, or just a few minutes. So
Yeah. That's sort of what I figured the consensus would be. Maybe we'll do a welcome back party in January, something like that. I just, like I said, we had 2 cases of exposure. Heidi had to isolate this week and last week, and then Friday, what happened with the LPNs. I would just hate to ruin somebody's holiday by, bringing delicious Christmas cookie or Thanksgiving pumpkin cookies and then them have to isolate for 2 weeks. So.
And if you're paranoid, because I get sprung tomorrow and I'll be going up and down the halls, it wasn't me, and I tested negative.
Mike, feel free to build a barricade wherever you feel we need one.
Okay.
All right.
Basically, they're saying you ain't getting out.
Hey, and
Quarantine you this hallway.
weren't we going to go back to Lee too? We need to make sure.
Yes, that's it. Thank you. So Lee, what do we need to do to support you and Vanessa and Ricky? Do we need a special schedule? Is this going to work with you guys? Thank you again for the great job you've done being our lead Ghostbuster with the fogging machine. So you tell us, what do you need, sir?
I just basically just need all of us to cooperate together. That's pretty much it.
What we will do, and faculty on here, as we have students in classes, if you will give us those classroom numbers, then we'll supply that to Lee and his team, and then they can go in, at their most convenient time and do a deep disinfecting every time. If we've only got a handful of students, there's no reason why we can't stay on top of that. But what I don't want to do is have a group of students here until 4:30 and then us expect Lee to go in there at 4:30. We need to, as much as we can, be very, try to get the students out of here where the custodial staff has an hour or 2 to go in and do their magic. Or have them come in later the next day so they could go in the next morning and do their custodial magic. Does that sound reasonable, Mr. Lee?
Sounds good.
All right. Amanda, what about recruiting?
Get on it.
Don't tell me to get on it. You're supposed to get on it. Anything going on?
No, we're always recruiting.
I know we're always recruiting.
What
Any special events? Anything coming up that we need to know about?
Just that I guess with CTE and the whole program, if y'all know of students that I could be reaching out to that you have heard of that I have not heard of, send me that information and I'll be glad to reach out and talk with them about the program and get them admitted. For sure.
Is custodial here till the 15th as well?
Lee, I think y'all are planning to be here, aren't you?
Yes. The 15th of December?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's our schedule.
Sandra, have you had a chance to look at the new Oracle purchasing system yet?
Oh, see, remember, I wasn't authorized.
I know, but did you see the latest memo that came out?
Yes, because when I had done a purchase requisition, I got this really weird email.
Yeah.
And Bruce said, oh, you were supposed to get an email about that. And it just came out, this week? And that was about 3 weeks ago. But yes, they send when you do a purchase requisition, they do an email telling you they're processing it or something like that. It's kind of weird. Yeah.
So our purchasing system is changing. Sandra has always done a great job of being on top of that, but now we're about to change the game on her, so she gets to start. Yay! So things we need, but hopefully this will give a little bit more control, especially as we are ordering things and they don't come in for 2 months, so we don't want to spend that money again. So it will be, accrued and all of that. So Sandra and I, as we figure it out, will be letting you guys know what we need to do to buy stuff going forward, instead of just Heidi grabbing the credit card and running to Walmart or to whatever and spending $10,000.
What about the bookstores? Is it going to change it?
Yep. but probably not as dramatically as just operations, because you and the library each have special things you have to order. But I'm hoping we do away with those little forms we have to fill out.
Purchase requisitions.
Yeah, those things. I think they're going to be electronic going forward. So,
Are they going to do away with the blue forms like that we travel, those travel forms?
those abominations of desolation blue forms. I've got to be honest, in all the years I traveled full time in corporate America and in education, I've never seen anything quite as ponderous as that form, but I don't know. I haven't seen anything about that yet. So we'll see. Everyone I've done in the past 20 years, except when I got here, was electronic.
Because I know I turned a couple of them in or whatever, and I got something from Oracle about like a receipt or something. I didn't understand what it was. I just kind of.
That's that new form saying that your form is being processed.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Have they
I
paid?
know what it was.
Did they pay you?
2 out of the 3 so far. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. So, all right, Stevie.
Sir.
Since you're the one that's in charge of all things IT related, and you almost got me lynched this morning by the BOT ladies from upstairs. You want to give us an update on IT switches and Wi-Fi and all things magical and wizardry that you handle?
Oh, they got me in the hall. It's okay. I know we're trying to spend all the CARES Act money. That's the reason for the switches to be done before December. Currently waiting on some parts because there's a part shortage. So that's all I know on that. But everything is okay. Knocking on wood. I don't know. So
Okay.
far.
Very good. All right. Anything else, guys? Going once? Going twice?
Don't close me off.
I'm not going to close you off. Thank you, everyone. Everybody else is free to go.
We'd have to make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, oh yeah, make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a
I make that motion to adjourn.
second? Who seconded it?
Amanda.
Yeah. Great. All right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
All right. That was
Hey, I do have, before you mentioned it, I had a question about that CARES Act money, because we're going to be having the students do a lot of that off campus stuff. I'm hoping that I can get them to do a lot of things between now and like January, whatever. So they've used a lot of the products and all. That's something that I can order, pay over the phone with the card with, and get it shipped here before we leave, I believe.
Okay.
So I'll get that together and send that to you. Does that sound okay?
Sounds good.
And then the cosmetology review meeting, just out of curiosity, how'd that go?
It went okay. I will share with you the all the stuff. Look how thick that is. I really personally think they should have had you on there. They had those other two
April.
ladies. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they were good, but
Well, I was contacted by them and I said, do you need my help? And she said, no, they only want me to do it. And I was like, I've done it before. It's done every 5 years and it's tough to do it.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things. I just sat back and thought, all righty. But I don't know if she mentioned or not. I did help her as much as I could and listen to her cry.
yeah.
one day, but I told her she'd be okay. I thought that a lot of it was just her fear, but I don't think she got a lot of help. And I told her I didn't get a lot of help either, but it sounded like I got a little more help than what she was getting. So I'm glad that she did okay then.
Well, I think you have a lot more experience than she does, and so even without help, you kind of know what they're looking for, what they want to hear, what you need to go into it. It was but it was okay. One of the, this COVID thing has really changed everything. And just the amount of clock hours that you've had to help people make up. There's no way in this report to really reflect that without people thinking you've lost your mind. You know, it's the super seniors thing that you've had to deal with day and night and weekend and whatnot. There's really no way to codify that in this. This is not structured for that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know what they did in Ashland. They have, you know, no students hardly anyway. I don't know what they did in Senatobia. Evidently, when they got rid of those other 2 instructors, it was an absolute train wreck over there. So I think they're grateful just to have you over here, just because they know at least there's some consistency, and you will get the state board reports done, and you know how to deal with the state board.
Yeah.
So there was nothing alarming in there. You know, some concerns about retention and students actually going into a business, I guess, getting placed.
Yeah.
You know, they mentioned something you've said a lot of times, that this particular group of students seems to think they're going to come in and play around with hair and play around with nails. And you're trying to tell them this is a program. It's going to be very intense. You have to show up. It's going to be like going to a job. You have to study. You have to learn new things. It's not just playing dress up with your friends.
Yeah.
And that seems to be a universal conversation that's being had in the cosmetology program.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of contention on the Senatobia campus between the 2 teachers. That's between me and you, but
Yep.
no,
Dwayne.
and that's one thing, huh?
Dwayne told me that as well.
Yeah, and that's bad. That's the one thing that people always say, oh, you want to get a helper. And I'm like, I don't know, because every time there's 2, there's always stuff. So I'm always fearful of that. But I'm good. I would appreciate to look at it or a copy of it, and that's great. Let's see. Super seniors. Okay. I was just going to let you know, for the super seniors that are coming in, you know, well, first of all, we had the one set that were seniors, and they became super seniors.
Right.
So they were seniors in spring 2020, this year in January. And then there was a set of freshmen. And so the freshmen are pretty good about coming, that were freshmen. They're pretty good about coming, and some of them may actually be done before the super seniors were. So, but they are becoming super seniors for this first of this year, which is no big deal. I mean, it's tough, but I only have 10 freshmen, so it's a good year for it to happen.
Right.
So, you know, a couple of them are those girls that, you know, they just didn't come for 2 and 3 weeks at a time and whatever. And they didn't do squat during the spring and the year. So here's the thing about this. I'm going to take off some during the holidays.
Good.
And that's going to be me not doing online work. And I'm not going to be shocked if they don't give a lot of flack about that to you or somebody. And so that's the only thing is, if they say that, if you want to holler at me, I can probably quote you, you know, every day.